tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day.
Hello ladies, hello gents, thank you for being here today. On today's video, I'm going to be showing you all how to make my holy grail green spice. Anyone that knows me knows that I am a seafood lover and I love me some grilled fish. But before you can get a great, juicy grilled fish, you need to have your base, and this base is the green spice that I'm about to show you how to make. So you need a few ingredients to be able to do this. First, you need your white pepper. This is about 1.5 tablespoons of white pepper in here. You need your African nutmeg. Other people, like how we call it back home, we actually call it granite for actual spices, but most people call it African nutmeg. This is how it comes, but when you've peeled it out, it's gonna look like this. You see? And also you need some Njansa. You just need a handful for the quantity that we're about to do right now. And you need rosemary. You can either use fresh rosemary or you can use the dry ones that I have here. This one, I didn't get it from the United States. This one came all the way from Cameroon. So it is the real deal. And you need onions, a whole lot of onions. So we're going to be using 3 large onions because we're not doing too much today. And you need some basil. Take a look at this basil. This basil is actually called the Thai basil, but then you can also use like the regular American basil, but you need the fresh one. You cannot use dry ones for this one. So because this is what is going to make your sauce green. And you also need some celery. So I got a bunch of celery here. This is how it comes in a bunch. This one is unwashed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop it up. First I'll wash it before I chop it up. After chopping it, I'm going to put it in the blender. But for the other spices that we got here, this ones I'm going to be using this mortar because I am old school. But you can also use your blender if you want to use your blender. It doesn't really matter. Other people, when they're making this kind of spices, they use like vegetable oil, but I do not use vegetable oil. I actually use virgin olive oil. The reason why I use virgin olive oil is because when you're using virgin olive oil, it's gonna make your fish really moist. But if you use the other regular ones, it could get burnt in the oven. Even if you're using the oven or you're using the grill outside, it is advisable to always use your olive oil because that makes it really moist. It can be a little more expensive, but it is worth it. And I am using the Ninja blender for this. Let's get right in. So I already have the basil and the celery well washed. Look how green they look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop them up right now and put them in the blender. While it's in the blender, we need to go ahead and fry these because you cannot just use it without frying it. The reason why I do fry the Njansa and the rosemary, I also do fry the nutmeg just to make it have some flavor. That way it gives you the flavor you need when you're eating that juicy fish. So let's go right in and start chopping. What you're gonna do is chop it up. I love it when a knife is sharp. And put it in the blender. This is what is gonna make your spices really green when you're grilling. You already have it in the blender and I'm about to turn on the blender. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it on high. Remember when I said we need to fry some of the spices, that way it gives you some flavor? That's what we're about to do now. So you're gonna pour this in here. And you're gonna pour this in here. Right now we're gonna go ahead and put in I'm gonna chop the onion and add it to the basil and the other spices that I've blended. I'm just adding it up just to make it easier. You can as well pour that one out before adding this one. Done blending, and take a look at it, how it looks. So yum, 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 yum. I'm already getting the aroma even though it's not yet on the fire. So this is the mixture of the basil, the celery, and the onion. So just pour that into your pot. Meanwhile, we already have this well fried. Look at the color of it. It is so brown. And now we're going to transfer this into you can either blend it like I said, or you can go the old school way and pound and pound and pound. I'm going to turn on the heat under this and put it on low. When I say low, like really, really low. So while I'm pounding, it's going to be on low. You see how low it is? Yeah, really low, because you don't want to put it on high heat. When you put it on high heat, it's going to burn. The technique of making this come out really good and tasty is cooking it on low heat. When I come in and put in the other spices that I've pounded, I'm going to turn up the heat a little, just up a notch. While I was blending, I was actually pounding the white pepper, and you see how dusty it looks already. So what I'm going to do is I will pour it out. I'm going to pour it into an empty bowl. Right there. And I'm still going to pound it. Now I'm going to go in with this. While this is done, then I will go in with this one. So can you now see the texture? I added the white pepper already, so you have everything in here. So one more ingredient that we gotta add is take a look. This is black pepper. I got this one from Costco, but you can get any brand, it doesn't really matter. So I'm just gonna do that in there. So that's approximately 1 tablespoon of black pepper. So now it is boiling, even though it was on low heat. Can you see how it is boiling already? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scoop this out and put it inside. So I'm gonna give that a good stir. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to put in some salt. So just put salt to taste. So I'm doing like 2 pinches of salt. So I'm gonna give that a good stir. After putting in the salt, so this is a Maggi that I'm using. It's called caldo con sablo de pollo. Can someone teach me Spanish, please? Okay, so it's actually chicken flavor bouillon. I'm using this instead of the beef one because I prefer this one for this recipe. So I'm using 1 tablespoon of it, and I'm gonna give that a good stir. So I'm taking up the heat a notch, see? And I'm gonna let that simmer for a minute. So take a look at that. So this has been simmering for like 2 minutes. So next we're gonna put in the oil. Let's kind of be generous with the oil, because you're still going to use some for the fish. So you see there's a little bit of water in it. So we're going to let it simmer some more. And what I'm going to do now is I will take down the flame a notch. See that? So that way it can cook properly. See, after all that, it's still green. And this is what is going to be going on your fish when you're about to grill. I'm just going to cover it now. Oh my God, the aroma of this just makes me want to eat it right now. It's gonna simmer for a while. And now it is all done, guys. Oh my goodness, I just want to eat it by itself. This has been boiling on the very low heat for about 30 minutes, but if you want it to be greener than this, then you can boil it for less. Oh my God. Did I even mention to you guys that I was actually baking fish? That is why I just decided to go ahead and make this for you guys so you can know how to make this up. Take a look at that. I'm going to show you how to make this on the next video. That is actually a topping for the fish. Fish is a big deal in my house, guys. So now I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off. You can actually let this cool down, then you put it in the fridge. You can be in the refrigerator for like 2 weeks without getting bad, but you can save it in the freezer for 2 months. That's what I normally do. I make a whole batch and then I put it in the refrigerator or the freezer depending on when I want to use it. But right now I'm gonna use this one because I'm baking. Thank you for sticking out with me, guys. This is actually a multi-purpose spice. You can use it for literally everything in the kitchen, not just for fish. You can use it to bake pork, you can use it to grill maybe beef or any kind of meat you want. This looks so good. Have a great one, guys. Love you all and stay tuned for the next video. Mwah.